G'day folks, just having a bit of trouble there with the gimbal. Subscribers, you can find another live stream on your subscription page on the live chase for Tropical Cyclone Damien. It's a little bit steadier than this one. You can see quite a bit of tree damage. So we're going to do a bit of a drive through Karratha. Had to wait. Normally we would have done this in the morning, but the road to Roebourne was shut from Point Sampson till around about lunchtime. Plus this place was on red alert till 11:30. About 11:30, so couldn't do it in the morning for you.
Fence damage, yeah.
Fence damage on the left here. Trees come down. Another tree thankfully has come down, but not on top of the houses or the units. I was driving into the city just about half an hour ago, and we didn't get all that much significant structural damage in a lot of the places that I've seen. There was some roofs, a few roofs off, but it's indicative of a Cat 3. Most well-built houses can withstand Cat 3s quite comfortably. Just like at Point Sampson, as the subscribers know, we had one house with a roof off. We had another house, the shop had a little bit of structural damage as well. Some loose sheeting just on the side of the road here that's come off someone's house, someone's roof probably, or shed, because it wasn't shed safe accredited. Good plug.
One sign left, one gone.
Give way signs pointing the wrong way. So give way if you're on the right.
Go down these next streets, there's quite a lot of tree damage.
No worries. So subscribers, that's your stream there. Nice and steady. Anthony, my chase to Point Sampson was quite good, mate. I was pretty impressed with what I saw. You know, I would have liked... Oh, this is big. Hang on. I'll get back to that one. What do we got there? A tree into a shade sail, yeah? By the looks of that. Tree into a shade sail. Yeah. It's quite a bit of tree, quite a bit of foliage damage there. Oop. So initially I was going to stream on an iPhone to you, but iPhone doesn't like going live for some reason.
We'll go down to the bottom and then do a loop through these.
Yeah, sure. My driver today is Donnie C. He's a great bloke. OCC follower from a long time. And he helps out with Perth Weather Live. So if you don't like, if you haven't liked Perth Weather Live, make sure you like Perth Weather Live too. They talk about all the, oh Jesus, look at these tree damage here. Jesus, I didn't do. Oh, that's poor root structure though. Yeah. Look at that root structure of those trees. It's bugger all.
Shallow roots.
Yeah, very shallow roots. So once again, lots of people getting in and getting the job done today straight away. Lots of green waste on the side of the road, both sides. No, that's all right. There's a lot more tree damage here than Sampson, that's for sure. Or even Wickham. Wickham actually had more tree damage than Sampson.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was interesting because Wickham's, you know, slightly indoors.
Bit of a downslope action with those hills, maybe.
Well, that's what I thought, but those areas near the hills, they didn't show too much downslope. You know, there wasn't an enhanced area of damage there. Lots and lots of trees down here. This is where they play footy.
The one oval.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of trees down here. Yeah, it's called the Bulgara Oval.
Bulgara ovals.
Playground in there, so if you could zoom
Yeah,
in,
it is.
but
It's
yeah,
a little bit. It's a bit of damage to the playground in there. You can see in that all that white stuff, all that sheet, all that metal.
Get you a gap there. There you go.
So lots of damage there to the playground and the Bulgara ovals. Just give me a sec. You're going to go all fuzzy for a bit. Just got to fix the subscriber stream up. There we go. Yeah, going back to your question, Anthony, look, we were hoping that the system would probably hit just east of Karratha. We wanted to be on the eastern edge of the eye, or just outside the eastern edge of the eye, because that's where things were going to get really hectic. And it turns out that Karratha ended up on the eastern, Karratha probably a little bit more towards the middle. Oh, look at this.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage there to the fence. In fact, total damage to the fence there, isn't it? Yeah.
And then all these trees that you're mentioning with the short roots, you can see them here on the right.
Yeah, so these are the trees that are going down all over the place now. These have got very poor root structure. Like, look at those roots. They don't go very deep into the ground. They're not covering a lot of surface area. So no wonder these trees will go down. Hopefully they don't replant trees like that across this region, because that's just silly. Planting trees like that, I don't know what the. No, I'm not gonna pass blame, but putting trees like that with poor root structure in, that's dreadful.
All of them as well, eh?
And you can see they're happening right across this area. So hopefully the person that's in charge of that will not be doing that again. Very poor choice of tree. Nah, Michael, there's no way this was a 4, mate. There's just way too little damage for a 4. Where we're seeing lots and lots of tree damage. We're seeing some weaker structural damage. A 4, you start seeing widespread structural damage, and we're not seeing that. So definitely not a 4, mate. Definitely on the middle end of a 3. I wouldn't say high 3, middle end of a 3. But there's a big difference between there's a little bit of roof damage there, you can see. So there's a little bit of roof damage. But yeah, in a 4, mate, you're seeing fairly widespread structural damage, and you're not seeing that here. So definitely not.
There was a roof over here which came right off. I didn't see much. Well, I saw the video on Facebook.
There's a little bit more roof, something dinted the roof there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like yours there, Don.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
There's fence down here.
Fence down
that
with the
roof
tree.
in the middle is gone. That whole section's missing.
Yeah. There could have been a bit of downslope from that hill there here, I reckon. I reckon you're close enough to that hill to see a bit of downslope acceleration. Where'd the winds come from?
No, that way.
That way?
Yeah, we're facing west. So So west, northwest.
Yeah, and then where did they start from? East, northeast? Yeah, okay, so maybe not. To get downslope, you would have needed southerlies. That's south there, yeah? Or is that north there?
That's south.
South, yeah. So you would have needed southerlies and you didn't get southerlies.
That's the tower that Mick was telling me.
Yeah, Chris Smith, we're going to the CBD shortly, mate.
See how the tower looks like there's damage?
Oh yeah, there's wires and stuff just dangling there, isn't
Yep.
there? Yeah. Yeah, we're about to go to the CBD.
Yep.
I didn't even realise he's had big buildings like that.
Oh yeah, pretty new. Oh, it's pretty new. A couple of years now.
Have you been to LIA? What does LIA mean?
The light industrial area.
Yeah, I didn't see too much wrong there. Honestly, I didn't see much wrong there at all. So the LIA, sorry Sarah, I didn't know what you meant, but yeah, no, I had to get past there to get to here, and there wasn't there wasn't anything there that was spectacular, eh?
So this is now the sort of west side of the town centre.
So this is the, as Donnie tells me, the west side of the town centre. Yeah, they didn't get all that much rain. I think it was about 150, 200 mil all up from the whole thing. Yeah, so 200 mil all up for an area that's been parched of rain. They haven't had any good wet season rain at all. So, you know, oh, the fuel station's
There we
open.
go. It's
There
open
we
now.
go. Found yourself a Mrs. Karratha. No. I need to have girlfriends at like all these cyclone places. Spend more time at cyclone places.
This bottle opened after red alert. There was many queues.
The bottle,
queues.
man, you should have seen the thirsty camel. They were actually slowing down the
Yeah.
highway because people were lined up onto the highway to get to the thirsty camel. Karratha peeps know how to party. I see on the DFES website they're all telling people to, you know, stay sober and all that sort of thing. I'm going, you've got, unfortunately you're fighting a dead battle there.
So now it's sort of pretty much heading into.
Can you swing by the hospital? Long-time local has just moved away. Wondered how it fared during the first decent cyclone since Christine. The hospital suffered some damage in Christine, was it? Did it?
Well, you said, but this is a new hospital.
So the new hospital's here. So there's no problem here with the new hospital. So Melissa, is this the hospital you're after?
No, that's Blanche, but we'll go to the hospitals up there.
Jesus, that's a raging place to go.
It's one of the few
Maybe there is a
places
Mrs. Karratha there somewhere.
open. We can go and have a look inside.
Yeah, we've just been to the northern side of Bulgaria. Is that where we just were? Yeah, we've just been there, Melissa. Yeah, there's I wouldn't say lots of structural damage. There is some structural damage, but it wouldn't be 1 in every 2. It'd be 1 in every 10 houses, I'd say, have seen some structural damage, and it's mostly in the light category. So once again, more indications that this was never a Cat 4, certainly just a Cat 3, and just about a mid-range Cat 3 at that.
So this is the new hospital.
So the new hospital here, so someone was asking about the hospital. Someone was asking about the hospital. Absolutely nothing. Oh, there's a little bit of tin there. Well, that's probably just come off. Oh yeah, it's come off the roof there.
Yeah.
All looks pretty functional to me, mate. They built that really well, actually.
Yeah. Strong as.
Yeah, very strong. Don't forget, folks, this is only ever made possible by our subscribers. So become a subscriber, OCC subscriber at join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au, and you can help fund our future endeavours. And in turn, we give you a lot more information than we do on our social media pages about cyclones, about weather, about all sorts of things. Just talk to one of our current subscribers and they'll let you know just how much they get over and above what you see on socials. Lots of little tree damage here. Nothing that says anything more than about a 2, high 2, low 3 in this area. Remember that a category 3, this is one of the things that people found out during Cyclone Debbie in Airlie Beach and Proserpine and that area in Queensland. A category 3 isn't a category 3 for everyone. A category 3 is the raw data from the actual cyclone. A category 3 can be a category 4 in some streets. It can be a category 2 in many others. It can be a category 1 if your street is very sheltered. So just understand that the category 3, and this is why I love to see tropical cyclones right on the beach. Right on the beach is where I want to be when a tropical cyclone hits, because I'm getting the real energy of the cyclone. Here, you have all sorts of different effects. You've got funneling effects of the road. You've got the urban effect of all the buildings. These act as blocks, but they can also act as wind accelerators as well. So you've got a situation when you are in a city where you might think, oh, this wasn't that bad, but you find that that it really was in some other areas. So just understand, when the Bureau says category 3, it doesn't necessarily mean it's category 3 for your street and your house.
Town proper now.
So now we're into the proper part of town. It's one of the biggest misconceptions, Donnie, in Queensland especially. People think category 3 means category 3 for everyone.
Everywhere across the whole
Yeah, and it's totally wrong.
A lot of debris in the ground there.
Yeah, there is a bit of stuff there.
See, a lot of these trees were down, but they've already pulled them out and taken them away.
Oh, that's fast.
The council, yep.
Well done.
Yeah, done a great job.
I was just giving them a bad rap there for the tree damage, for picking the trees. But at least they're clearing the trees very, very quickly, which is awesome. Awesome to see. Well done, council. Yeah, so not much in the way of structural damage to the CBD. Everything I'm seeing here, Donnie, says low to moderate Cat 3, to be honest. Not much more than that. Either that or you build things like a brick shithouse everywhere. Yeah. It could be one of those two options. Either everything's built like a brick shithouse or it's just a low-end category 3.
I would tend to say that it's designed for it.
Yeah, you would hope so. Yeah, I mean, you're in what we call Cyclone Alley in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's like Tornado Alley in America. Damn, chicken treat. The one time I can have chicken treat is in Western Australia and it's shut. We don't have chicken treat. Well, not where I am in Queensland anyway. I don't know. Maybe there's no chicken treat at all.
You're not missing out, in my opinion.
Hey,
You're
I'm not missing out. Go to the KI just down the road. What does that mean?
Karratha International Hotel. Yep, I believe the roof came off there. We'll go have a look.
Where's that?
Just on that way.
Yeah, righto. We'll go to the KI, Christy. So stick around.
Yeah, a lot of trees and signs down, but like you said, not much roof and housing structural damage.
Yeah, and that's the thing, mate. In a Cat, like someone was asking, could this have been a Cat 4? Not a freaking chance. Not a chance. Not from what I'm seeing here. Not a chance.
Straight into the sun. It's not ideal.
Yeah, no one. Sorry, subs. The subs are looking straight into the sun. Just put your sunnies on while you're watching the subscriber live stream. Sorry, folks. Take him to the port of call to find Mrs. Karratha. What does that mean?
I'll tell you after.
All right. It's not a conversation for Facebook Live.
Yeah, no.
All right. This is the art centre, eh? This is I really like this design. I don't know, some art student would have spent a year on it, but
yeah, Red Earth Arts Precinct.
Yeah, that's an incredible little design building, that one.
Looks awesome at night, the way it lights up.
Oh, does it light up?
Yeah, different changes.
Maybe not tonight though.
Okay, this is the KI here.
Alright, so going to the KI here, folks. Oh Jesus, yeah, right. There is a bit there. I wonder why that little part has come off though. That's bizarre. Because it must have been a weak point. Because you wouldn't have thought.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, see that's Cat 3 damage. That's what you'd expect to see in a Cat 3.
Those flags were obviously not left out. They wouldn't be there.
Yeah. Actually, there is one that's ripped there. What flag is that? The one on the left. Is that the WA flag? Do you guys have a flag? I think we all have a flag, don't we? No? Oh. Maybe we've all got emblems.
That's pretty much it for town and town centre, I would say.
Yeah, right. So is that Karratha? Is there a beach near Karratha that we can go and check out? Or
there was closer back to where you
back to where we started from at Bulgara.
We can go there on the way back.
Okay. I thought because there was a motel near a beach. No? Maybe there wasn't.
Bloody Karratha.
Yeah. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to come here, is because there's just nothing near the beach to stay at, and that's where I want to see the power of a cyclone, is just at the beach.
On shore.
Yeah, right on shore where it's pure.
You remember them, the SCS, where you stopped in last time?
That's it. Yeah. The SCS people working tirelessly. Well done. Great shout out to the SCS people. Well done. That's the mermaid in Dampier.
Yep.
WA flag with the black swan. Yeah, also was a WA flag. Dampier. How far away is it? Can we get there? Not before dark? No, look, we can't get to Dampier before it's dark, folks, so Karratha's it for us.
We'll head up and do a bit more residential on that side, I guess.
Yeah, so we're just checking out some more residential areas, just like we did at Bulgara.
Towards the new shopping centre they're building. That's where the Hungry Jack's is going up, but everyone in Karratha's so...
you know, I spoke to a Woolies worker and a Kmart worker who are both OCC followers, so big shout out. And they both said, they both mentioned the Hungry Jack's is like the biggest talking point in Karratha over the last 12 months.
It was
because it's been delayed or something. It was meant to happen, then it didn't happen, then it was meant to happen, and now it's... But apparently the Hungry Jack's is the biggest thing to hit Karratha since, well, I was going to say since the cyclone, but... maybe too soon.
The birds. People always ask me, where do the birds go in a cyclone? Well, you know, Nitso.
Where do the birds go?
Yeah.
I don't know, they hide. There was a cyclone, one of our first cyclones. Cyclone Yalui, it hit Proserpine in Queensland, and the birds in the middle of the eye were just falling, just plummeting in the middle of the eye, because we got right into the middle in that one, and they were just falling to their death. They were just like missiles. They were just falling out of the sky, just hitting the ground and dropping dead, and there were hundreds of them. It was just incredible. Like, we had to duck for cover because they were just falling from the sky. I've never seen anything like it before. And I've never seen anything like it. We've been in eyes since, and I've never seen anything like it since. It was just incredible. Some fence damage there on the left, folks. Yeah, I've got no doubt. But what I'm saying here is, Emma, that while I can certainly appreciate there's been a clean-up, what we're looking for is evidence of how strong the system was. And they wouldn't have cleaned up that evidence just yet. So what we're seeing is a lot of tree damage, and I can understand that they've cleaned up a lot of tree damage, so I know that. But they wouldn't have been able to clean up a lot of structural damage. And there's obviously not much in the way of structural damage. I mean, it's cold comfort for those of you that have had a roof off. But overall, as I said, we're looking to try and assess how strong this cyclone really was across Karratha. And a low-end Cat 3 is what I'm leaning towards at the moment. Like, some people were mentioning Cat 4. Cat 4 would see probably 1 in 5 or 6 of these roofs being shorn off, at least showing significant signs of damage. So it wasn't Cat 4, certainly wasn't Cat 4. But now I'm trying to figure out whether it was a low Cat 3 or a high Cat 3. And the Bureau of Meteorology 185, that's about a low to mid Cat 3. Was about your maximum. 187 or 185 was the maximum gust recorded?
I think it was 195.
195 was it? Yeah, so around about a mid Cat 3 was what the gusts recorded. That was a very isolated, like there wasn't much around that 190 mark then, was there? There was one at 195, there was a couple at 180 something on both sides of the cyclone. So we're now on different residential estate. They've obviously cleaned up a lot here in the meantime, I'd say.
Looks like it, yeah.
So we're trying to identify streets with some structural. Yeah, there's a whole fence gone there. By the way, folks, this update's brought to you by a major sponsor, Townsville Sheds and Garages. Real sheds are real value. Check them out at townsvillesheds.com. If you're in the market for a shed, they can deliver your shed safe accredited kits, even into Karratha, if you need one.
Took out the lamp pole.
Yeah, wow. This one, that's pretty interesting. That's the lamp pole at McRae Court, sorry. And that tree's just gone straight down. Thankfully, it hit the lamp post and not the house. That would have created a lot of damage. Lots and lots of tree damage here. Yeah, I've got no doubt this is definitely a 3, but nothing to suggest any higher than that.
Satellite dish.
Oh, well, the satellite dish being folded. Yeah, get on to Foxtel for that one. Foxtel, your provider out here, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah, get on to Foxtel about that satellite dish. Oh, Donnie, can you give me a look at the airport area? Are we close to that? Or is that a fair way out of town?
No, it's 10-minute drive, 10 or so minutes.
Alright, we're just running out of light, that's all, folks. So we want to sort of get as much of the residential area covered before we go checking out places out of there. But we'll have a look, Anthony. We'll go to the airport. Oh, there's a fair bit of... just drop back into that street, mate. I thought I saw quite a bit of activity there. Quite a bit of... there was definitely a fence down there.
This area, by the way, is Miller's Well.
Is what, sorry?
Miller's Well.
Miller's Well we're at, folks. Miller's Well. Is this a school? What's
Yeah, it
this?
is. Miller's Well School. Yep.
Yeah. So lots of tree damage at the school, but looking at the buildings of the school, they all look okay. Touch wood. I'm sure they'll do a proper inspection tomorrow. But yeah, lots of tree, and kids won't be going to school tomorrow, that's for sure. I don't know, have they already cancelled school tomorrow?
I'm not sure, so I haven't heard.
Yeah, okay.
A few tiles off on that roof. The edges.
So a little bit of roof damage there, right on the edge of the roof. And that's the thing, cyclones will find that weak point, and then from there they'll peel off the edge. the rest of your roof. So it's important to make sure you find the weak points before the cyclone does. So this person here was very lucky. So this is the damage to the fence that we see.
Reverse?
No, we got it good there. Damage to the fence there to the right, and quite significant damage at that. Yeah, there's plenty of damage all over the city, mate. Definitely, plenty of tree damage, I should say. So tree damage really begins at a Cat 2 level. I mean, you get a couple of trees stripped, a couple of branches off trees in Cat 1s, but the serious tree damage begins at Cat 2 level. So we know that we've got definitely Cat 2 winds. Structural damage really begins at a high-end Cat 2 level, and then we start getting into serious structural damage at Cat 4 level. So we can see that we're somewhere between the start of structural damage to but not quite serious structural damage. So we're definitely in the Cat 3 range.
That's where the hospital used to be.
So that's where the hospital used to be. I think someone was asking about the old hospital.
And the cyclone didn't blow it away. They've been removing it.
Yeah, right. So it's not just leveled because of the cyclone, Donnie tells me. It's actually been removed. And there's the sign for the new hospital. Is that another residential area just in here, is it?
Yep. This is Bainton West.
Bainton West we're looking at the moment, on the left. Bainton West.
Here's where the new shopping centre's going on.
Is this the Hungry Jacks?
The next building's the Hungry Jacks.
Hungry Jacks, peeps, Hungry Jacks. Get excited, get around it.
We'll go over here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go left, are we?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna go left to Bainton
West.
Bainton West. It's great having Donnie as a local, taking me around. I'd be going around like a headless chook. They'd be going, oh, check out this place. I'm like, oh, what? it's like when we do It's like when we go to places that we got no idea about. I think we went to Port Edland the other year. They said, oh, check this place out, check this place out. And we're like, we're just driving around.
You and Mick, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. They're going, oh, check this street out. And we're going, mate, you got Buckley's. We're just driving around and hope you find your street. My Queensland accent, please. We don't have Queensland accents.
This part of sort of Karratha is also more of the sort of newer.
Yeah, it definitely looks very new, doesn't it?
Especially up here on the right where we're going to actual Bainton. It's everything really new modular housing. Very strong cyclone rated.
Roy, we had two stations, both fared okay and both got good data, and I'm just waiting on the second one. The second one's showing signs that it wants to play up on me because it's waterlogged, so I'm just giving it a day to dry out before I check the data properly. But it was reporting, it was on a hill, it was reporting a 1 minute sustained wind of 161 kilometres an hour, but I didn't get through to the really rough end. So I'd say we had a 1 minute sustained at about 170 plus at Cossack. Which would equate to probably a wind gust of about 200 and something. But remember, that's at the top of a hill, so it's not an accurate scientific reading that you can actually use. We just did it. We put it up there to see how cool it would be and what the weather station could actually record. But anyway, it was pretty cool to see the numbers really creeping up. Point Sampson 121 kilometers an hour is the maximum wind gust. Maximum wind sustained speed for 1 minute, and that will equate to about 145, 150 k an hour maximum 3-second gust when you do the translations. But our Kestrel units that we take to WA do not do wind gusts. They only do 1 minute sustained winds, not wind gusts. And that's unfortunate, but we just don't have the money to be able to spend $1,000 or $1,500 of the extra baggage it costs to bring our $20,000 U-Butte state-of-the-art Campbell Scientific Station with us. So we got to make do with what we got. Minimum pressure was 979. Lots of tree snap here. Minimum pressure at Point Sampson was 979.2 hectopascals, and that was after the cyclone had crossed the coast here at Karratha. We got our minimum pressure at Point Sampson. So we were at about 21. What did you get down to? 958 here in Karratha, yeah? 950 something? Yeah, so about 958 in Karratha. So we were. There you go. They're watching our live stream. That's cool. So we got 21 hectopascals above what you guys got here at Karratha. So it was yeah, quite a steep pressure gradient. As the crow flies, Point Sampson's about 20 to 30 kilometers away. So that's a steep pressure gradient, 1 hectopascal per kilometre pretty much. These are good houses here. Yeah, they'll easily withstand a 4 easy.
And because it's fairly new, the suburb, there's none of those really big trees yet.
Yeah, they're much smarter about the sort of trees they're planting too. So this is Bainton or Bainton West? Bainton's okay. Yeah, look at these. It's going to take a hell of a wind to blow any of these out. Fair bit of tree damage there on the right.
Open areas coming through.
Yeah. So once again, where's the wind coming from here? That way and that way. Okay, yeah. So right to left and left to right. Back half.
That's pretty much it for residential. So we can actually head out past sort of Gap Bridge and towards the airport.
All right. So we're going to go out to the airport now. We've had a look at pretty much all the residential areas of the town.
Creek out there, 7 Mile Creek, which hasn't flowed in years and years. It's full of water.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be cool to see. We're just running out of light, so we're just conscious that we've got to get this done in the next sort of 15-20 minutes, folks. So we're just heading out to the airport, and that'll probably do us. Just remember, folks, if you'd like to support what we do, AusCycloneChasers.com.au, click the subscribe button, and you'll find that we give you a ton more information than you ever get on our social media feed about upcoming cyclones. AusCycloneChasers.com.au, click the subscribe button, help us out, help us track and document more of these tropical cyclones. Ben, I think the second half of the cyclone was stronger because when you take a look at a map of Karratha, there's a fair bit of funneling in between the islands. And the other reason I think the second half was stronger is because the cyclone was tightening up as it was hitting the coast. So there were 2 reasons why I think you got the back half. It didn't last quite as long. It didn't last quite as long the second half in terms of the extended extended strong winds, the destructive winds. But it was certainly just as, if not slightly more destructive on the back half. And as I say, I reckon there were 2 reasons. One reason, the eye was tightening up as it was hitting the coast. One of the things that we talked about in the subscriber updates that morning was the system went through what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. And in an eye wall replacement cycle, the system weakens for a little bit, and then it re-strengthens. So in that period of weakening, the eye got bigger, and then it stayed big for a long time, and then just as it was hitting the coast, the eye started to tighten up. So it really started to show signs of intensifying as it got within about 30, 40, 50 k's of the coastline. So they're the reasons why I think you got it. And the other reason is the funneling. If you have a look at Karratha on a map, you'll see what I mean. There's Dampier and Karratha. You're in a point there where the wind can funnel in between. Where are we going?
There's a little creek. It's got a bit of water in it for the first time in years.
Oh yeah, so this is the creek that apparently doesn't flow. What's it called?
7 Mile Creek.
7 Mile Creek. Look at that, flowing like a. Look, there'll be barra in there tomorrow. Go barra fishing at 7 Mile Creek. How good's that? And then tell your grandkids about it, because that'll be the next time it'll flow. Don't go barra fishing. You look like a dick. If my hand's in the road, become a subscriber. You get my hands free subscription stream. Join.ausscyclonechasers.com.au. So that's our light industrial area out there. Oh no,
that's Gap Ridge Industrial Area.
Gap Ridge Industrial Area. That's right, I didn't pass this bit. There's bits of that sign missing.
Yep.
There was a full sign there at some stage. That thing I'm looking at right now. Grotesque River? Does that mean
Fortescue?
Fortescue River? Is that what they mean?
110.
Yeah,
down.
Yeah. Fortescue River saying it's full and could overflow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It was last time I looked, it was up close to 8 meters from zero.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of tin coming off something. Oh yeah, that's shed probably. Once again, probably not shed safe accredited, eh, Zeke? Shed safe accredited shed kits, Australia-wide, townsvillesheds.com. Get amongst it.
This sign, there's nothing left of this sign.
There was a sign there on the right. I don't know what it said, but there was a sign. They should do a little prize. Find all the bits of the sign and we give you a $100 voucher. Karratha City Council.
Sign jigsaw puzzle.
Sign jigsaw, yeah. You gotta have a laugh, folks. You gotta have a laugh. It's a cyclone. Yes, it's serious. Oh, look at that! Snapped. Snap. Is that a power line?
Yeah. Well, see, as we go down here across the causeway, they're all down. They're flattened.
Ah, flattened power
I'm
lines.
not sure if it's power or telecoms because there's a big sort of power line on the other side.
Just picked it up and chucked it over the fence.
Yeah.
Job done.
These poles snapped off. Not sure if you'll get it with that sun in the background. We'll pull over further up here near the causeway. You can go get some footage because it's good to see the causeway's got water.
Yeah. So is this road open? No, it is open. There's people going through here.
Yes, yeah. And this is the way to Dampier.
Ah, right.
Airport turn-offs is here on your right.
So the airport turn off on the right, I wouldn't think. Well, I'm flying out tomorrow, so they can't have had too much damage. Otherwise, they wouldn't let me fly out, you'd think.
So, yeah.
Airports are usually built to withstand this stuff.
You can see all the water.
Oh, look at this. Karratha, don't ever tell me. You subscribers that tell me it never rains in Karratha, I'll tell you. If I ever hear that again, just like the Townsville people, it never rains in Townsville. Look at this. Look at this. Barra fishing again. Or at least you could go swimming in it.
Look at the poles.
All right, don't go. Hang on, that's poor advice. Do not go swimming with live electricity in the water. That's a dumb advice 101. Right, Forget the fishing and forget the swimming. That's. But don't ever tell me it doesn't rain in Karratha again.
See how they're all flattened.
Yeah, lots and lots of these. Jesus. How'd they get the... Are you guys back with power now?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. So they got that back up and running quick. What are they going to do here? They'll wait for this water to go down, and I'd say just hopefully replace these with something a bit stronger.
Yeah, water won't go down yet. It doesn't drain away.
Oh, it doesn't?
Evaporate only.
Oh. It won't take long for it to evaporate.
So, yeah, and this is pretty much just the causeway the whole way along, and so and then
Yeah.
to Dampier.
How far's Dampier, I reckon?
Yeah, give it a crack.
Right, we're going to give Dampier a crack, eh? We'll give it a crack, we'll see how we go. Don't even start, Sharon. Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you were whinging. My apologies, Sharon. I thought you were going to tell me that you don't get rain. But no, my apologies. I didn't read your comment properly. Yeah, that is... and actually, I was speaking to someone from Cossack, and they were telling me that, you know, if they either get a cyclone and they get rain, or they don't get a cyclone and they get 30 or 40 mils for the year. So that's how important cyclones are to this part of the world in terms of rainfall. So just goes to show, you know, like, and I can definitely understand that, because in Townsville we get something similar where if we don't get a tropical low or we don't get a monsoon depression, you know, we finish the year with about 500 or 600 mils, which isn't quite as bad as you guys. But if we do get a cyclone, we finish with 2,000 mils, and there's hardly ever middle ground. So I can understand, and it's exactly the same for Karratha, Headland. Broom's a little bit different because they do get some storms with the wet season. But for Karratha, Headland, Carnarvon, Exmouth, Onslow, all these areas, they have to get cyclone rain. Yeah, that's bizarre that Telstra would go off before Optus. Yeah, I'd say residential would be the priority for